What's good, YouTube? Today we have a brand new TimeLord making its way into the Collector Pack 2017 for Japan, which means one day we should be seeing it come over here. I really like the TimeLords, how they look and the whole concept of them, and this one is pretty good. I would rate it as about as good as Razion, which did make its way into the meta once upon a time. Cephalon more so being the one archetype restricted. So let's go ahead and get into this generalized man's. He is a Razion, the TimeLord, but likely, as it says, it will be Razion, the TimeLord for the TCG, as that's how it was officially in the subs. So he cannot be special summoned from the deck, which is very similar to the others. Most of them cannot be special summoned from the deck. They kind of have a restriction. So if you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing. So he does just pop right out of the hand. And if you have extenders, you can continue. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And you take no damage from battles involving this card. That's pretty good. He's a 0/0, so that does matter a lot. At the end of the battle phase, if this card was attacked or did attacking, shuffle all cards from your opponent's graveyard into the deck. So the graveyard has kind of become the biggest resource pool for a lot of decks. So this can just take care of their entire graveyard. That's pretty insane. But the thing is, with graveyard decks now, usually that includes a certain lady called Fairy Tale Snow. And this card can be targeted by card effects. It just cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So that's a little rough. It's probably getting flipped down against that. But against other decks like BA, Shadol, many other decks that don't have a Snow in the graveyard yet, Infernoids, this is pretty darn good. The fourth effect's kind of random. It's just a bonus. Once per turn, if your opponent draws a card, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. I don't know why that's a once per turn. I think that'd be really cool if he was able to do it over and over and over and limit what they were doing. Like they'd have to play around him or wait for him to leave. And the fifth effect, just like our other friend Razion, once per turn during the standby phase, shuffle this card in the deck. I think it's just like gonna say shuffle this card into the deck during the standby phase. It's not an optional effect, obviously. So if we go look at our past friends, Razion's very similar. Cannot be special summoned from the deck. If you control no monsters, you can normal summon without tributing. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. You take no battle damage from attacks involving this attack position card. At the end of the battle phase, if it was attacked or if it attacks or was attacked, return as many monsters on the field as possible to the hand other than this card. If you do, inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each card returned during your standby phase. Shuffle this card into the deck. This is really, really cool because while it's monster restricted, it's gonna hit all the Xyz, all the synchros, and this is why we saw it in a meta once upon a time. He was also a fire, so very, very interesting that we have two fire lords here, or fire TimeLords, my bad. And then remember Cephalon here, cannot be normal summoner set. He has to be special summoned by having 10 or more monsters in the graveyard, so a pretty hard restriction to meet at times, and cannot be special summoned other ways. Then his effect is only good towards fairy decks, as once per turn you can special summon one level 8 or higher fairy type monster from your graveyard, but its effects are negated and its attack also becomes 4,000. Well, I suppose that does work with the rest of them archetypally, but there's only been 2 up till now, so for the TCG. So I think it's a very welcome addition to see more TimeLords. It's interesting that it's another fire, though, already, but I think it's really cool. I think I see a beard in there. Is that John Moore? Is that nah, he's got no glasses. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the news on Razion, the TimeLord, coming to our OCG and eventually one day our TCG.